Okay, if I can have everybody's attention, please. You ready to go? Good? Okay, we're going to reconvene our meeting, and tonight we have Boy Scout Troop 117 from St. Bridget's who's going to lead us all in the Pledge of Allegiance. When you're ready.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, welcome, everybody. And we've got a big crew here, I see, a lot of smiling faces. Appreciate all of you being here tonight for our meeting. Tonight we have a special presentation from Julie Irwin Rinaldi, our Executive Director of what is now Centero and previously was Dublin Counseling Center. You've merged, as I understand it. Welcome.
Good evening. We are going to keep this very short and very sweet since we have such a big crowd tonight. But first of all, I wanted to introduce Jim Seguin, who is going to be taking over as our board chair in January of 2015. So I wanted to make sure that you all met him and are aware he is a local attorney. He lives in Upper Arlington, but don't, take that. He's okay. He's an okay guy. Bob Adamek, who's been our board chair for many, many years, is going to be stepping down as the chair but staying on the board. So we just wanted you to meet Jim and know that we're going to have a leadership change in January. So I want to thank Ann for sharing a report with all of you that's in your packet. There's lots of details here, but since we have so many folks in the audience, and I know you have a very hefty agenda, I want to focus just on a couple things, and that is key partnerships in the community. We are take very seriously all of the partnerships we have in the community with key partners. And if you look through the report, you'll see we have key partnerships with the school system, with the city, with the rec center. We have really enhanced our programming with older adults, and you'll see more and more of that as our population ages in the city. We have partnerships with the police department, with the Washington Township Fire Department. We are very excited about some new partnerships with the OU School of Osteopathic Medicine. The dean is now on our board of directors, and they have just been a great partner. We have medical students shadowing our staff in a variety of our different programs. We just signed an affiliation with the OU School of Physicians Assistants School. So I want to thank all of you for inviting those organizations into town, because it makes our job easier in terms of the partnerships that we're able to pull together, and it makes our services and our service delivery more effective. So I want to thank you for that. One of the big things that we've just done recently, we just opened up a integrated primary care and behavioral health care program at our Dublin location on 299 Kramer Creek, and you're all invited to an open house that we're having on November 7th. This is state-of-the-art integrated care with primary and behavioral health care under one roof. You should be really proud of that we have this in our community, and we're very excited about it. So again, thank you for your continued support of what we do. We're very excited about the programming we have in place, and we're going to continue to grow. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I'd just add, most of us have been touched or know someone who's been touched by your professional work and your services over the many years, and we appreciate what you do for the community.
Thank you.
And really the surrounding community as well.
Thank you, sir.
So any questions from council?
I just want to close by thanking Marcia for all her support throughout the years, and I wish you the best of luck as you transition into your new life. So thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jim. Okay, we have a special recognition proclamation this evening, National Community Planning Month, and we have somebody from planning staff. Accept this, I presume.
Steve Langworthy.
Steve? Mm-hmm. Oh, there he is. Steve, welcome aboard. I will read this proclamation. Whereas community planning provides an opportunity for residents to be meaningfully involved in making choices that determine the future of their community, And whereas the full benefits of planning are attained when public officials and citizens understand, support, and demand excellence in planning and plan implementation. And whereas community planning contributes to economic development through the creation of places that attract and retain a skilled workforce and promote business growth, which enhance economic vitality and enrich a community's quality of life. And whereas the City of Dublin has always placed a high value on the planning process and the importance that community planning has in the city's overall quality of life. And whereas the Dublin Community Plan, amended in July 2013, represents the product of successful collaborative effort among citizens, public officials, and staff members in creating a guide for managed growth, increased quality of life, and a prosperous future in the City of Dublin. And whereas the month of October is designated as National Community Planning Month throughout the United States of America and its territories, and the American Planning Association and its Professional Institute, the American Institute of Certified Planners, endorse National Community Planning Month as an opportunity to highlight the contributions that sound planning and plan implementation make to the quality of our communities and environment. And whereas the celebration of National Community Planning Month gives us the opportunity to publicly recognize the participation and dedication of the members of City Council, the Planning and Zoning Commission, the Board of Zoning Appeals, and the Architectural Review Board, and other citizen planners who have contributed their time and expertise to the improvement of the City of Dublin, Ohio. And whereas we recognize the many valuable contributions made by professional community and regional planners across the Central Ohio area, and extend our heartfelt thanks for the continued commitment to public service by these professionals. Now therefore I, Michael H. Keenan, Mayor of the City of Dublin, on behalf of Dublin City Council, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2014 as Community Planning Month in the City of Dublin, in conjunction with the celebration of National Community Planning Month. And congratulations. Yeah. Thank you. I'd like to say a few words.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor, members of council. I want to start, as I often do in these months. First of all, we just squeezed it in at the end of the month here, but I want to start by thanking you for all the support that you've given planning over the years. And I hope that you know, both not just from planning, and I can only speak for planning, but I think I speak for all the staff, about how pleasurable and how much of an honor it is to work for such a progressive and forward-thinking council. I've worked with a lot of communities and a lot of different legislative bodies, and I think I can say without hesitation that this has been my most enjoyable council to work with, especially for that reason. We also appreciate all the time and effort that all of our volunteer boards, Planning Commission, Architecture Review Board, Board of Zoning Appeals puts in as well. And I know you don't get to hear these names all the time, but I would like for you to recognize and know about the staff that I'm privileged to work with every single day. So with your indulgence, I'm going to quickly read who these people are. Our planners, first of all, Gary Gunderman, Tammy Flading, Jenny Roush, Claudia Husak, Rachel Ray, Joanne Shelley, Deviani Pironic, and Marie Downey. Our code enforcement and co-compliance staff, Greg Jones, Matt Cromlick, Brian Martin, Nomara Messina, and Michael Hyatt. Our wonderful support staff, Flora Rogers, Lori Wright, Lynn Mazie, Cindy Young, and our outstanding interns, what we call them planning assistants, Katie Ashbaugh, Logan Stang, Andrew Crozier, and Nikki Martin. So thank you for indulging me for that.
Well, thank you, Steve, and I think the proof's in the pudding. All you need to do is look around the city, see all that fine work, and appreciate it. Okay, we have citizen comments now, and we see that we have Deborah Armstrong, Franklin County Children's Services Director of Communications. Is she here? Would you like to come forward? Welcome, Deborah.
Thank you so much, Mayor and Council, and to all of you in the audience. I'm just here to briefly speak to you on behalf of Franklin County Children's Services. We have an issue before the community on November 4th, which is issue 4, to renew our 1.9 mil levy, which is a straight renewal, to continue to provide services for abused and neglected children under the care of Franklin County Children's Services. Each year, our agency serves over 30,000 children from throughout Franklin County, from all communities, all socioeconomic backgrounds, all diversities. And this levy will be a straight renewal. It will not be an increase in taxes. The owner of a $100,000 home will continue to pay the current rate of $54 annually. Our agency, 75% of our funding comes from 2 property tax levies, and this is the smaller levy, 10-year levy, which expires at the end of this year. And so our role is just to go out and just to inform the community that, children in our community are still being hurt, they're being abused, they're being neglected. But our agency, our tagline is protecting children by strengthening families. And the calls into our child abuse hotline last year were over 31,000 calls, people reporting abuse and neglect of children. And that usually comes out to about 12,000 investigations annually that our staff does. We have over 700 employees with our agency. And our agency has made great strides in the last 5 years to make improvements for children in our community. We've increased the number of children placed with relatives in kinship care in the last 5 years by 65%. We believe that every child should have a safe, loving family, that agencies and institutions should not be raising children, but children need to grow up in homes and to be safe in our community. Also, in the last 5 years, we've had 255 of youth who are in foster care under our agency's care who have graduated from high school and going on to college. And then last year, 90% of the children served, or foster youth served in one of our programs called EdPass, graduated from high school. And that's compared to a national average of 50%. And so we've been making great strides. We've really been trying to work hard in engaging families and to keep our community's children safe. And with the support of the community, we hope that we'll continue to do that. And as I said before, we're issue 4 on the ballot, allowing Franklin County Children's Services to continue to protect our community's abused, neglected, and most vulnerable children. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deborah.
I have some literature here that I will just pass around about the issue. If anyone has questions, you can take this.
Very good.
Pass
Council,
it
have any
around.
questions?
Any questions?
We appreciate all the hard work, and we know it's important work that you do here for the county. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. I appreciate your time.
Okay. That'll bring us to the consent agenda. Is there anybody that would like to remove anything from the agenda here tonight? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the actions for the 6 items listed on the agenda. We have a second. Ann?
Ms. Salee?
Yes.
Mr. Lucklider?
Yes.
Mr. Reiner?
Yes.
Mayor Keenan?
Yes.
Ms. Janice Zerker?
Yes.
Mr. Peterson? Vice Mayor Gerber?
Yes.
The consent agenda items are approved by a vote of 7-0.
Thank you. Bring us to second readings. Ordinance 104-14.
Sorry. Authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for public health services with the District Advisory Council of the Franklin County General Health District for 2015.
Marcia?
Yeah, this is the annual contract that we have with the Board of Health, and it provides service for Franklin, Delaware, and Union County, so for all of the residents in Dublin, whether it's inside or outside of Franklin County. It's consistent with what the contract has been in the past. There is an increase in the fee this year based upon the current needs of the Board of Health and some of the funding that they need, and it's also based on our actual projection or our estimated population. And with that, we would recommend adoption this evening.
Yeah, we've all had an opportunity to read the staff report. There's a wide variety of services that are provided under that contract. So with that, are there any council questions? If not?
Ms. Salee? Yes. Mr. Lucklider?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Gerber?
Yes.
Mr. Peterson? Mayor Keenan?
Yes.
Mr. Reiner?
Yes.
Ms. Janice Zerker?
Yes.
Ordinance 104-14 is approved 7-0.
Thank you. Ordinance 105-14.
Amending ordinance number 10797 passed August 11, 1997 to supplement the description of eligible infrastructure improvements payable from tax increment financing funds pursuant to that ordinance.
Ms. Muma?
Good evening, members of council. We are requesting amending the Pizzuti TIF ordinance to allow for the improvements primarily at the 270-33 interchange, as well as other Bridge Street improvements. As we get closer to the reality of the construction of the 270-33 interchange getting underway. We're trying to shore up all funding sources available, and to that extent, any TIF that can benefit from the improvements to that interchange, we certainly want to have the ability to use those service payments to pay for the debt service for the construction.
Very good. Council questions? If not, vote.
Ms. Janice Zerker?
Yes.
Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
Mr. Reiner?
Yes.
Mr. Lucklider?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Gerber?
Yes.
Mayor Keenan?
Yes.
Ms. Salee?
Yes.
Ordinance is approved, 7-0.
Okay, we have a letter of intent.
Yes, at the last council meeting, we had prepared a letter of intent with regard to the Casto Company's project, Taller Flats, and council had requested staff to make some modifications to include language that addresses the issue of if what is submitted does not comply with the Bridge Street Code, that they would be required to submit and go through the approval process for waivers if they so need a waiver on the project. So we've added language in Section 2 and Section 7 in an effort to address that concern, and we'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, we had a lot of discussion at the last meeting on this. Any other questions from council?
Hey, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
And I'm sorry if this has been answered, but Exhibit B, this rendering, as it's attached, would it require a waiver to look the way that it looks?
Once we would get into the process, if they do not meet the materials requirement, the 20%, then they would need to go through the waiver process.
And I guess the rendering, attached Exhibit B, there isn't a representation on here of a material, I just can't
No,
tell looking
there's
at
not.
this. Okay. But-
In fact, I think it mentions the generally endorses the general character, because we had that discussion even at the last meeting about we didn't want to be absolutely, sometimes these things are look a little better in.
Yeah, if any requirement in the code is not met, then they have to go through the waiver process.
Anybody else? And do we need a motion on this?
Yes.
Council? Motion to approve? So moved. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Ann?
Ms. Salee?
Yes.
Mr. Lucklider?
Yes.
Mr. Reiner?
Yes.
Mayor Keenan?
Yes.
Ms. Janice Zerker?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Gerber? Yes. Mr. Peterson? Yes. The letter of intent is approved by motion of 7-0.
Wow. Staff comments?
Yeah, a couple items. Quickly, this week, Wednesday, October 29th, at the Rec Center from 6:30 to 7:30, staff will be meeting with a small group to discuss and get input from the public with regard to the redesign of the skate park. And we've been working with community relations and other staff, such as the volunteer resources and our recreation staff, to get the word out, to get participants to attend Wednesday evening to discuss the modifications to the skate park. And Costco, we have an update that was put at your desk this evening, and so if you have any questions on that, please let us know.
Okay.
Also, this afternoon, we were notified that Bright Road, between where the work is going on for Emerald 8, there's going to be a closure from Tuesday and Wednesday, I think it is, or Wednesday and Thursday. And that information is going out to all of our media outlets, but we just wanted to give you a heads up this evening. And the last item, we had information that was included in the packet with regard to water and sewer utility extensions. And we know that there was a lot of information, and we tried to provide background and some of the key areas to focus on. And so I didn't know if council had any comments or questions at this point, or if you would like us to schedule some type of a workshop that we could have a detailed discussion on just the water and sewer issue.
What's council's pleasure? You'd like to have a workshop? That's another meeting.
We'll do that.
That's good.
That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Council committee reports. P&Z Representative Amy Staley.
This Wednesday, the Planning Commission is going to be looking at the Bridge Street Code. Hopefully, it'll be the final, well, not the final. It will be passing sort of the first round of changes to the Bridge Street Code. It's recommended by staff and P&Z over the course of the past year or so that we've been working with it.
Very good.
That's all I
Thank you.
got.
Administrative committee, Rick.
Just remind everybody, we have meetings the next couple of meetings.
Stay tuned.
4:30 it starts, right?
It's not just Monday.
Hopefully, we can knock out most of it the first evening, so more to come.
Community Development, John.
We have nothing to report, Mayor. Thank
Very
you.
good. Finance, Marilee.
Yes, we have, as you know, the fall is when we also have a lot of finance meetings. And we start, well, I think we actually start, I don't have my calendar in front of me, but I think we start like next week. The 5th, is that the date? Right. For our operating budget. But we also have November 12th, we're going to be starting at 5:30 before our meeting, which is another budget meeting, to do the cost review study. There are a few significant changes in it, so it appeared that the Finance Committee or the Committee of the Whole might want to hear, you'll get a copy of it, but, you know, the significant changes that are being recommended. And then on November 24th, as stated in your goldenrod paper, the Finance Committee will be reviewing the hotel motel tax applications. So we have a lot of finance meetings this month. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Public Services, Amy?
I don't think we have anything.
Okay. I don't think there's any other reports here, so we, unless, Tim, is there anything on LUC, or you probably have a meeting coming up next month in November, so we'll have a report on that at that time.
Yeah.
Council Roundtable. Greg?
I saw a couple of times this walk in the park event. Seems like a really neat idea. Will we get feedback? Will we get a list provided to us, maybe by ward or whatever, the suggestions in the different?
Sure, we can
That'd be
provide
great.
that.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Nothing else?
Very good. Amy?
Yeah, I wanted to echo Greg's questions. I wondered if November 13th is the best time to take a walk in the park. I'm thinking maybe like May 23rd, but I'll look forward to hearing the feedback. Maybe when it's bare bones, we can see the...
One of the reasons of the timing is we had volunteers, and then also we will get the feedback and some of the things that need to be done. And over the winter, when staff has a little bit more time, they can go out and make some of the repairs or corrections that need to be made.
Perfect. I knew there was a reason. Thank you. I don't have anything else, Mike. Thanks.
Thank you. Marilee?
No, thanks.
Nothing? Tim?
Nothing.
Nothing? John?
Nothing. Thank you.
Well, I'll break that trend. I just have one thing real quick. Marcia, I want to thank Megan for the report on the water utility and the sanitary sewer thing. And I'm just asking, what's the next process here? I know we have the reports now, and it seems like it's probably time for us to help you with some direction.
Yeah, we'll-
Something yet this year, or?
Yeah, we'll look at the schedule to see when we can set up for a workshop. I mean, it's going to be difficult with all of the things that are going on, but we know that this is something that is of importance in the process with next year's capital budget. So we'll look to see what we can get set up either yet this year or early next year.
Yeah, sounds fine. Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, very good. I have nothing to add to roundtable. I would like to make a motion to go into executive session for personnel matters.
I'll second that.
Vote?
Ms. Saleh?
Yes.
Mr. Lecklider?
Yes.
Mr. Reiner?
Yes.
Mayor Keenan?
Yes.
Mr. Nancy Zerker?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Gerber?
Yes.
And Mr. Peterson?
And when we reconvene, there'll be no further business taken at that time, so appreciate everybody coming out. This is a record, I believe. We started late and finished very early. So thank you all for coming, and a special thank you to the Boy Scout troop from St. Bridget's.